Well, hopefully that's going to work. I am having a nightmare of technical difficulties here, but I think I have fixed it. And we should be off and running. Hopefully I will be popping up on my monitor momentarily. We shall see. Let me know if you guys can see and or hear me, because I have no idea, and we've had some problems here tonight. Uh, let's see. Ah, there I am. I seem to have made it. Somebody let me know if you guys can see and or hear me, because this is really strange. I did indeed fix it. Fantastic. Thank you, Christian. Alrighty. Well, I talked to myself for a good 5 minutes before I figured this one out. Thankfully, I think it might have been Gary Edminster that said, "Is something wrong?" I thought I was live and was chatting away with y'all. So my apologies for that. Anyway, happy Friday. I've got the Matches Memorial Friday 7 Ellie is as is tradition. And I will go ahead and say hello to y'all again because I missed you the first time around, I guess. There's Piper said, good to see you. Poem, Taciturn Richard, the Urban Hermit. Hello, Everett. Codger Jim, Gary Edminster. Glad you can see and hear me fine now. Sorry about the trouble there. Robert Miller, Big Dave. Thank you. Steve Russell, White Ash Piper, Squared. Good to see you, my friend. There's Patrick Grant. No audio, says Patrick Grant. Uh-oh. Is that anything new indeed? Patrick, I think other folks are getting the audio because they're telling me it sounds fine. So let's see if that resolves. If somebody could type something to Patrick and let him know. Oh, that is strange, Christian. Hopefully, hopefully there's only one left. Todd Munson, how are you doing tonight? All right, so audio is fine. Well, let's stop worrying about technical difficulties and just assume that things are good. I'm going to pop into these other tabs and just make sure I'm not double streaming here. That seems fine. That seems fine. Okay, I think we're in good shape. So let's see. What did I talk about for 5 minutes? I talked about the fact that I worked today. I was going to take the day off because the July 4th holiday is Tuesday. And I've got off Monday and Tuesday. But it turned out that nobody else was working, so it just made sense to work because it was a nice quiet day and I had nothing planned. So saved a vacation day, got some stuff done. That was nice. And yeah, that's about it. I've condensed it. This is the condensed version of what I said earlier. Having a gin and tonic tonight, which is very good. Michael Case, thank you. And there's Flint Hill Briar. Yornik, hello Yornik. Old Uncle Mike, good to see you, my friend. And there's James Finn. Hey, how you doing, Jim? Trying Wilkie Royal Admiral in Amorta. Sounds good. Todd Monson is having Burley Flake #1 in his new Briarwork C22. And I'm getting all kinds of comments and stuff, so I don't know what's going on. Hopefully folks are going to be able to find us here. It's still could be 4th generation night, says Gary Edminster. Big Dave's asking if anyone has any Canadian Fire smoke. People are saying we have it. I personally don't see it, but I don't know. I think it's one of those things that people start to imagine because they're told it should be there. But I heard from my buddy Tim Fournier today, who lives out in Kansas, I believe. Gee, Tim, I hope I didn't mess it. No, it's Kentucky. He's in Kentucky. And he said they had it pretty bad today. So Paul Johnson just dug out some vapor and dug. Oh, Just some vapor and dugout pipe. Gotcha. And there's Couch in Cleveland. How you doing, Couch? Thanks for tuning in all the way from central Pennsylvania. Central Pennsylvania. The Midwest. There we go. The Midwest. Also known as Central Pennsylvania. No, Piper said I got the furnace off. I remembered it this time. Yornik is having marleybone in an excellent Ukrainian pipe. Cool. The Urban Hermit says he was getting it where he lives. Everett, we think you're responsible. We think it's mostly haunted bookshop smoke. Artie's place has it for 2 days and you can see it and smell it. Wow. And you're not that far north of me, Artie, so I guess we're going to be seeing it. James Finn says he's got plenty too. Looks like LA fog. Patrick says it's a tad hazy. Yeah, I think that's about what I would say about here in Pennsylvania, Patrick. And things are moving fast. So apparently folks found the new link. There's Kevin Doolin and Tobacco Pipes International. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Mark. Good to see you. Lynn Hill says he's not getting any in Kansas. Bona Piper back in the summer cabin. Beautiful day. Bowl of his own concoction. 2/3 Orlick Golden Slices, 1/3 Salty Dogs. Nice. Kevin Doolin smoking a stogie in the balmy weather. Sounds like a plan. Gary says West Virginia smoke was bad there. Just got back. Here's Doug Owen. Hey, Doug. Some Canadian fire smoked 2 years ago, but declared it illegal, and it's not come back. Much smoke at the St. Louis Cardinals game 2 nights ago. Patrick's got haunted bookshop and a Phil Rivera saddle bit billiard. Very nice. So I'll tell you, I guess Tim's not going to make it tonight. So Tim said, there's a lot of smoke in the area. And he said he was adding to it, smoking some esoterica. Well, I think I responded that it was all Everett's fault or something like that. And he said he didn't smell the haunted bookshop, but he was adding to it by smoking esoterica. And I told him, well, that'll make it impossible for anybody to find it. So that was a good deed that he did. Okay, that was a long way to go for a bad joke. Old Uncle Mike, the advantages of living on the rim of the Valley of the Sun. It stays in the valley and doesn't bother me. Sounds nice there, Mike. Good to see you too, Mark. Yeah, Michael, that would do it to you for sure. Oh, good point, Brian Woodward. Good to see you. Yeah, the smoke will definitely clog up your furnace filters and probably air conditioning filters too. You might want to check them more regularly. See, you get helpful tips here. It's not all just nonsense. All right, it's like 99% nonsense, but occasionally there's a gem. Yeah, Christian, that's a shame. Montreal was, I hope they've cleaned it up some, but was one of the most polluted cities in the world in terms of air quality. But it's such a beautiful city. Wishful thinking, eh, Doug? Oh, Flint Hill, that sounds absolutely idyllic. Fly fishing in a canoe while smoking a cob. Can't beat that. I don't know if I mentioned I've got a gin and tonic tonight, which I really enjoy gin and tonics in the summertime. I haven't had one in quite a while. And it's funny how I got the gin. I've been out of whiskey for a while. I've probably complained about that for over a month now. And hey, there's Tim Fournier now. Talking about you, Tim. Work late, heading home. Get home. Be safe, buddy. And there's the Society of Ordinary Gentlemen. Good to see you. Yeah, so I said, oh, I'm gonna go buy whiskey. I finally decided I'm gonna do it because, darn it, I want some. So I went and went to the state store here in Pennsylvania, which is where you go to buy whiskey, and went in through the door saying I'm going to buy whiskey, and I walked out with a bottle of gin and 3 bottles of wine. I don't know what happened. I'm thinking I was bewitched in some way. That's my working theory right now. But I didn't buy whiskey. I don't know why. I know, Doug. I know they're pathetically bad, but you know what? I've learned not to pick on guys when their teams are down because I've been that guy many, many times. So if not this season, next season, right? There's always another one. There's Hillbilly Piper. How you doing, Donnie? Tim's ears were burning. At least they didn't have an earwig in them, Tim. Michael Case, looks like you're writing a song there. Bass fishing in a canoe by the light of the harvest moon. Yankees had a perfect game. Always hope to see that someday. Pete F, hello. Nice to see you. There's a wind called Cape Doctor that blows away all the nasty stuff from Cape Town. That's interesting, Yurnik. Flint Hill mixes fruit punch crystal light 50-50 with diet tonic water. That does sound pretty good. I like tonic water, and I just like it straight. A little bit of lime juice in it, but yeah, it's one of those unique tastes. White Ash Piper says 2 parts gin, 2 parts lime juice, and top off with soda water, salt, and pepper. Huh. No, Piper said, I wish I could blame it on being drunk, but I didn't have a drop in me. Yeah, Doug. I don't put a whole lime in, but it's probably about a half. Patrick Grant is asking me what gin did I buy, and I do not remember, Patrick. It wasn't anything fancy. Uh, it was so special that I do not remember. They will sneak up on you, Kevin. They don't. It doesn't feel like you're drinking alcohol when you drink a gin and tonic. Yeah. Tim wants to know how he came up. Tim, we were talking about the smoke from the Canadian fires, and I told the story about how you were doing your part to save the environment by making the smoke harder to find. Hopefully, Tim remembers the joke now. No, Gary, it wasn't Blue Sapphire. It was Gordon's or Ghibli's or some. It was the cheap stuff. It wasn't anything special. There's Little Piper Todd. How you doing, Todd? And Ron Hardcrackers. I don't think I caught you yet, buddy. Nothing wrong with a virgin gin and tonic, Michael. I will often, if I'm out and people are having cocktails and I don't want to drink, that's my go-to. It's tonic water with lime. Yes, Don Larson indeed, Doug. What an event that was. It's definitely not bathtub gin, Kevin. Definitely not. And this is the second one I've had since I bought it, and I can still see, so that's a good sign. Yes, Palm. Tonic is a chemical mixture. It's quinine water, and It's one of the reasons why the drink actually became popularized. It didn't exist. It was concocted in order to get soldiers in India, I believe, to take the quinine. Old Uncle Mike wants to know what's the best way to plug a hole dead center bottom of a meerschaum. Never did it, Mike, and I don't know that it would work, but I'd probably just try plain old plaster of Paris. Let's give it plenty of time to set up. And you're probably going to need to raise the bottom of the bowl up a bit. You know, make sure you got a nice thick layer there. Oh, that's right. I forgot about the Captain Black grape. Yes, Tim. That's yeah. Tim said he didn't detect any haunted bookshop, but he detected a clear aroma of Welch's grape juice. And we thought Everett was probably dipping into the Captain Black grape. We love you, Everett. Oh boy, Doug. Yeah. I've actually never had a hangover. Hey, grown-ups can like soda, Yernick. The 3-hour tour, says Gary Edminster. Not sure what that means. Yeah, everything's expensive, Lord Hogarth, for some reason. I like Bombay Sapphire Palm. I'll often buy it, but I wasn't even planning on buying gin, and I wasn't sure if I was still going to buy the whiskey, and I just decided to go cheap. Gordon's was the gin in the African Queen, huh? Did not know that. Yeah, Kevin, that whole prohibition period is fascinating. There's it's amazing what people would do for a drink. Yeah, White Ash, I really haven't, and it's not that I haven't gotten embarrassingly drunk in my younger days. I just wake up in the morning and I'm fine. So between that and my inability to become dependent on nicotine, I think I'm some sort of mutant. I'm defective, or I'm a member of the super race. I don't know. I guess time will tell. I'm thinking I might also be immortal. I mean, why not go for a trifecta? I mean, if you're going to be immortal, you're going to want to not get hangovers and not get addicted to nicotine. Those are important. Yeah, water's definitely important. Stay hydrated when you're drinking. TPI. Sixpence is wonderful stuff, says Hillbilly Piper. Gary Edminster, grandfather had a still. That is cool. It's an interesting question, Palm. I'm not aware of any tobaccos that are cedar aged. Um, there was a tobacco. One of the Frogmortons had a piece of. Oh, I think that was oak, actually. Yeah, I don't know of any that use cedar. Maybe somebody else might. Yornik, I'm on the same page with you there. Says he decided to live forever. So far, so good. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to decide to live forever. I'm just not going to die. I figure, it's kind of the opposite side of the coin, but I think I probably have a better chance of doing that because I've been able to do it so far, and I don't know where forever ends. So I'm just sticking with I'm just not going to die. And if I do, I'm gonna make sure that I've enjoyed myself as much as possible before then. That's what it's all about. Is that true, Doug? Yeah, I remember Hepburn emptying the gin. That was a horrible scene. But I did not know that Doug's talking about the African Queen. The leeches on Bogart were actually real leeches. That is something. Gordon's was what you gave away, Michael. Gosh, if I just would have taken a short drive across country, I could have gotten it, huh? Okay, Kevin. So it was Frogmorton's cellar had a piece of a cask from a whiskey barrel. Gotcha. And Patrick Grant's saying the same. Well, that's another good point, White Ash Piper. We don't want forever if forever's like right now, huh? Right now is a little strange. SB, hello. You're welcome to join late anytime. I'm not sure if I know you, SB. You might be under a different name than usual. Or you might be new, if so, welcome. Yornik, Bob Gadling, character from Sandman graphic novel and a great TV show, is just like that. Decided that dying is a mug's game. There you go. Gary, I would guess those leeches got very drunk. Ah. So the other thing you missed out on, and I know you're going to be upset, and because I know how y'all love it, but I did at the beginning of the show that you couldn't see. I did play the theme song for right before I started talking, and I'm sorry you missed it. It was ridiculous as always. Ah, Rick Black. I thought I recognized the initials, Rick. I couldn't quite place you. Well, good to see you, buddy. I'm surprised I can keep as many names straight as I can at this point. But that's one of the great things about doing this every week. It's mental exercise. They say that it helps you keep your acuity. Gary Edminster's asking the question, do leeches have hangovers? I don't know, Gary. I've never talked to one. Oh, you could hear it. Well, that's interesting. So you could hear that, but you couldn't see me. Hmm. Okay, something's wrong. Uh, we'll sort it out eventually. Oh, Lord Hogarth, I think that's about all we can hope for is purgatory. Gary Edminsters really wants to get into Gilligan's Island tonight. As you guys know, because I've talked about it a lot, I'm Roman Catholic, and we believe in purgatory, and I know a lot of other Christian denominations do not, and sometimes criticize us for it. But I've always been touched by how um, merciful it is. It gives you another chance. It means that if you weren't a terrible person, but you weren't necessarily a saint, you still got some time. I'm, of course, making it overly simple, but you know. Well, Everett, I'm glad you were able to be here tonight. You got the night off, or what happened? Did your schedule change? Uh-oh. There we go. Did I tell you guys about this? I don't know if you remember. I really like these medic lighters, and they're refillable, and they're cheap, and you can lose them and whatnot. But the darn thing stopped working after a while. And I've thrown a bunch of them away, but this one I've been you probably remember me doing this when my Zippo ran dry or something. I've got this little arc lighter, and I was holding down the butane thing and lighting it like that, which is ridiculous, but it got the pipe lit. Well, I was fooling around with it during a boring meeting earlier this week, and I fixed it. And it was the simplest thing. Anybody want to guess how I fixed it? Well, TPI, we should have a chat someday. And that's okay, we can disagree. Marriage is purgatory, says Gary Mister. Could be. Yeah, Flint Hill, you don't want to miss twice. Ah, you're moving, Everett. Okay. Hopefully that's a good thing. Kevin's going to Valhalla. Good deal. Tom Sutz. Just a lurker. No such thing as just a lurker. Tom, I actually do. I have a whole tub of it up. It's just out of shot up there. And I do smoke Mixture 79 quite a bit. And no, I shouldn't say quite a bit. Maybe like one bowl a month. I like it. I do like it. It's not an everyday smoke for me, but it's a nice change of pace. Have not listened to any near-death experience testimonials, White Ash Piper. It's a purgatory lighter, no. New flint, no. Let it dry and charged it, no. Flip the flint, no. For the record, all these things I'm saying no to, I tried, but they didn't work. Pipe Ninja, konnichiwa, my friend. On the way to the lake, driving and listening. Well, drive safely there, Cliff, and all the best to you and your family for a great 4th of July. Switching apartments, gotcha, Everett. The work of chaos isn't finished, says Urnik. Yeah, Mark, we got to set that up sometime. I think that would be fun. Hey, there's the smooth Piper Peter. How you doing, buddy? Todd Munson, clean the wheel. I tried that. It did not work. Tomorrow's Canada Day. Well, happy Canada Day to Everett and Christian and anybody else that's from the Great White North. No, it's been refilled several times, Todd. That wasn't the problem. I didn't drop it, Jeffrey. Possibility, but I didn't. Adding fuel didn't make a difference. So the weird thing about it is I could always light it with that extra sparker. I just couldn't get the spark to work, and it sparked. It just wasn't sparking enough. Turns out what I did was, it's just like a Zippo in that you unscrew the thing and the spring comes out and then the flint goes up in there. All I did was I stretched the spring a little bit, and the spring apparently lost tension over time. They get compressed. So just stretching it out a little bit increased the pressure on that flint, and it works every time now. So ridiculously simple, and it's been sitting there probably for 2 years not working because I just didn't think about it. And James Finn just came up with the right answer, and I due to the delay, I'm sure you found that you said that before I said it, so congratulations, Jim, you got it right. Didn't put the lighter in a freezer for a while. Did not try that. Oh, good question, home. Has anybody watched How Tobacco Shaped Appalachia? I found it, I just haven't had a chance to watch it. Yeah. Everett might not have been the best time to say to claim Canada Day. A few folks are pointing out that they're unhappy with your smoke. Pipe Ninja says same thing happens with firing pins. Interesting. Michael Case, did I ever watch a Little League World Series? I've watched it on TV, not too far from me. Does it rotate? Like, is it different places every year? I don't really pay that much attention, but I do watch when it's on, because I'll watch anybody play baseball. If they could figure out a way to make, I don't know, squirrels play baseball, I'd watch that. Actually, anybody would watch that. That would be cool. I do regret throwing the others out, Gary. That's absolutely true. So we're going to try something a little different for the second pipe tonight. And I'll tell you all about that. Because I have an embarrassing tobacco story for you. Piper said is claiming that we sent Canada a tobacco cloud, a chemical cloud. I don't remember that, but we probably did. You know, Yornik, I was thinking raccoons, and I thought, no, raccoons are clever. They probably could play baseball. Yes, yes, Cliff, stop typing and drive, for goodness sakes. I saw a squirrel water ski on a video once, Michael. Amazing. Yeah, Gary, I do the same. I save old Bic lighters and keep the springs and even the flints. The flints in Bic lighters are actually pretty good flints. Better than the Zippo ones. Uh-oh. Everett just revealed his hand. He's got a covert operation going on. Yes, Doug. That's how you know your team is bad, if they lose to the squirrels. Oh, the train crash in Ohio, of course. Okay. Thank you, Piper said. Yes, I have seen the squirrel obstacle course videos, and they're amazing taciturn, Richard. They're incredibly smart animals. Well, at least they're incredibly clever. I shouldn't say they're incredibly smart. That's true, Yornik. The raccoons would cheat. Sharing is caring, says Ron. Piper on the 45 has two images of me side by side, and I'm green. Oh, I hope that's not happening to too many people. All right, White Ash Piper, thanks for joining us. You have a happy 4th too, buddy. Yeah, Patrick, I've actually got a half a lime, 2/4 in the gin and tonic. Floating in the ice. And it is a good gin and tonic. But I don't know that I've ever had a bad gin and tonic. Doug Owen says there's a hilarious YouTube channel called Sugar Bush Squirrel. Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to look for that, Doug. So now I got the Appalachian tobacco video and Sugar Bush squirrel to watch. That should keep me busy. It's terrible. Things have been... I've just been rushed off my... whatever you get rushed off lately, and don't have time for anything until it's so late at night that I can't concentrate on anything. So, I haven't really been watching much of anything. Except the, my wife's on a real Midsummer Mysteries kick now. That seems to be on all the time. It's better than the Hallmark Channel, but you know it's starting tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, it's tomorrow. Finding folks in your chat. Thank you, I think, Mark. I don't quite know what that means. Urban Hermit says Sugar Bush Squirrel sounds like an aromatic blend. It kind of does. All right, Piper on the 45. Sorry about that. Get yourself some pizza and enjoy. So let me tell you my embarrassing tobacco story. You know my routine. So I got this recycled Carter Hall tub that I keep the haunted bookshop in, and you can't quite fit a pound in here. It's 8 ounces, maybe a little bit more than 8 ounces, but I buy it in a pound bag, and I put half in, and I set the bag aside. And I don't normally buy. I usually buy 2 pounds, sometimes more, just because I go through it, and if there's a sale on, I'll buy more. And subbing names in the chat. Is that what you're doing, Mark? Or are you asking me to do it? I'm confused. It is amazing, Doug, how many murders and acts of mayhem happen in those tiny English villages. And we looked this up. My wife and I were just joking one night, and I said, gee, I wonder if there's more murders per capita in Midsummer or in Cabot Cove. And there was a study funded by the BBC, mind you, that claimed that there were more murders per capita in Cabot Cove than Midsummer. And I just refuse to believe that, because most of the Midsummer murders are 3, sometimes 4. Michael Case, they hate the fireworks. They hate them. So yeah, it's a bad time for the 4th of July. 4th of July is a bad time for my dogs and for a lot of people's dogs. Yes, Tim, happy emergency room visit day on the 5th, indeed. So anyway, I normally have 2, 3 or more bags of haunted bookshop sitting over here in a box, because I've been so busy I haven't had time to organize all this tobacco that's been accumulating. And today I emptied out the bag, and I looked over and I thought, geez, that's the last bag of haunted bookshop. I had actually run out. Not run out, you saw what I have, and I've got plenty cellared. I've got pounds of it cellared, so it's not like I'm in dire need or anything, but I said, oh, I better buy some more, because what I try to do is like buy 2 pounds, put 1 in jars, but that doesn't always work out. So I thought, well, I better, buy some more. And then I said, no, I got all these like little bits and pieces of tobacco here, little bags and stuff that have been accumulating, because kind folks send me samples and whatnot. And I said, you know what, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to go through all of this stuff before I order any more haunted bookshop. I've got that 8 ounces or so to last me, and I'm just going to smoke a lot of other things until they're done. So I started to clean up the mess of tobacco, and I won't show you everything, but and I'm a little embarrassed by this. So I think the total was 23 tins, unopened tins, that are just sitting here, uncatalogued. I got them. I said, oh, I'll put them in that box and deal with them later. And so 23 tins. And then I got this box here. So I went through this. This is all blending tobacco. So I'm giving myself a break on that. And I got a few things in here that are kind of special and I do want to jar up. Like I got the haunted gaslight and the haunted pirate ship light. I want to put those away for a bit and give them some time. So things like that I'm excluding from this. I got, these are empty haunted bookshop bags. Do you think if you collect 10 you get a free pound or something? Wouldn't that be nice? And then I've got this, which is just various assorted samples, or sometimes not so much samples, but quite a bit of tobacco. So I decided that that's what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to order haunted bookshop until I finish this. Well, in going through this organization process and everything, I found some haunted bookshop that I didn't know I had. Does anybody want to guess how much haunted bookshop I actually had in bags underneath that? And the tins and everything else. I'll let you guys take a guess while I see what's going on here. Oh, you've been quiet. You've been listening to my story. I don't know why. Ah, gotcha, TPI. Well, good man. Good man. And that is a good thing to do. Subscribe to folks that you see in the chat on this live stream and other live streams for sure. Ron Hardcrackers heard the American Olympic women's soccer team has taken the gold plate exhibition games against a team of 15-year-old boys and older men in their 40s and 50s in Las Vegas. Yeah, I heard that too. Phil Rivera, hello Phil. And right out of the gate, Phil hits it on the head. It was 4 pounds. I have 4 1-pound bags. No, it's not 30 and 50 pounds. Come on, I'm not that bad. Still not enough, Urnick, indeed. Yeah, I actually had, so 2 pounds were in a sealed box that I hadn't opened yet because it came in right before I went on one of those vacation things my wife dragged me away to. Yeah, 4 pounds. I'm embarrassed by that. And for the love of God, do not tell my wife. Because I got to get more. So what we're going to do, just for fun, and we'll see how this goes. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll make this a weekly thing. Maybe we won't. But as I finish up the haunted bookshop, I'm going to pick one of these. And in some cases, I will just be trying it out for the first time. In other cases, it might be something that I tried before. And I'll give you some choices. Let's see. I'm trying to semi-randomly pick here, but there's a couple things I want to avoid. Okay, I got 5. I know what 2 of them are. So this was a kind gift from my buddy Jim Finn, who's here tonight. This is Esoterica Dorchester, which is a vapor that I do not believe I've had before. So that's a possibility. Oh God. We've got Haunted Pirate Ship. We've got Crooner. Don't pick Crooner. Not because I'm worried about my wife, but because I just want to do something different, and I've had a fair amount of Crooner recently. So we got Haunted Pirate Ship, Dorchester. Virginia Gentleman from my buddy Doug Owen. and some somewhat dried up Lancer slices from 2022 that I think were from my buddy Ghost Cobb. I'm fairly certain that's true. And I apologize. Sometimes it's hard for me to remember. So those are the choices for tonight. We got Virginia Gentleman, Lancer Slices, Wanted Pirate Ship. Good God, we got 2 lot of Keeblin. And Dorchester. And I'm going to leave the Kerner out of the running. That's a good way to get rid of it, Doug, is take it to the local pipe club. Yeah. Crisis was indeed averted. I'm a brave man, says Michael Case, because I'm letting you guys decide, or did I do something else that I don't remember? Phil, I was impressed. You got it right out of the gate. That's pretty good. Got 2 votes for Dorchester, 3 votes for Dorchester, 1 vote for Virginia Gentleman from the Society of Ordinary Gentlemen, which makes perfect sense. Tim's going for the Esoterica because it's what he smoked. Did you smoke Dorchester this morning, Tim? I know that, look, Dorchester seems to be running away with this one. If it was Dorchester, Tim, maybe we have to have a 4-dot Sunday, Dorchester Sunday. 4-dot Dorchester Sunday. There we go. You had a feeling, Phil? You just kind of felt like it was 4 pounds, huh? Ah, brave to let you decide. Well, how bad could it be? Well, Phil has eyes and ears everywhere. His minions told him. Captain Black Grape is not in the box, Gary. I think we are done with this. Mushroom leg. Yes, I've got some Durbar, Durbar, whatever it is. I got some of that in the drawer over here. By the way, I didn't talk about the drawer. Oh, Doug, if it wasn't so much Latakia, I'd do it. Doug wants me to combine them all and call it Sugar Bush Squirrel #1. That's about right, Everett. That's about what I've got. I haven't updated my spreadsheet in a while, but I think it's around 15 pounds. But that's for retirement. And the way I go through it, that means I'll be retired about 15 months. I'll be dead about 15 months after I retire. Ah, James, yes, yes, I know it will need to be fluffed indeed. But it's great that you vacuum packed it because I didn't have to worry about getting it in a jar right away. And I obviously forgot that I had it until today. Well, so it's hanging on a little bit, but I'm getting to the bottom of the bowl. So let's call this done. Let's see what this Dorchester is all about. All I know is that it's Esoterica, it's a vapor, and it's a kind gift from my buddy Jim. So let me cut open the vacuum packing. Should have done that closer to the microphone. You could hear it hiss when it cut it. And yeah, it has sort of become a flake, so we'll I'll reach into the pouch and do some fluffing. It's a little dry, but many of the esoterica blends that I've had have been a little dry. There we go. That smells like a vapor with a slight topping. Oh, is this the one that has the apricot or tangerine topping on it? Something like that? Mushroom Leg is at work, but he snuck away for a quick eldritch pipe with Fusilier's ration. Yes, that is good stuff. What sort of eldritch do you have? And by the way, Mushroom Leg, you missed the theme song. I played it just for you. It's apricot. Okay, yeah, I can smell it. This will be interesting. I like apricot. Prunes and X-Lax, says Phil. It's a little bit of a challenge to fill this without throwing it on the floor coming out of the pouch. And unfortunately, I've got this really nice tray that I could be doing this on, but it's become a bit of a pipe rest here, and it's got a lot of dust and stuff on it, so I just don't want to put the tobacco onto that. There we go. We're almost done. I don't know if any of you guys are Brandon Tenold fans. YouTuber that does horror movie, I don't know what you call it. They're sort of reviews and sort of spoofs. But the funny guy, and he has this line that whenever something's really boring in the movie, he'll say, "No one will be seated during the exciting whatever scene." And I was just thinking, no one will be seated during the exciting pipe filling scene. All right. That definitely has a topping. Not prunes and X-Lax, Phil. Although if I go running out of shot, you'll know why. Avocado, Mr. Torrance, indeed, too. Such a strange film. Pile driver number 2. Oh, Doug. Oh, gosh. Oh, strawberry, yeah. Yeah, he's on my list of artisan pipe makers I wanna get a pipe from. I'm talking about Chris Kelly Eldridge pipes. Problem is I'm more a classic guy, but some of his takes on the classic shapes are intriguing, and I just have to get around to get in touch with him and asking him to make something. Phil says Savinelli Brunello flake is a great apricot-topped Virginia Oriental flake. That might be interesting. Haunted porta potty. It would be haunted. Oh, cool, Phil. Phil got a pipe stamp with an anchor in it. Very cool. Phil, someday I'm going to have to corner you and get you to tell me how the heck you use one of those, because I was surprised at how. I mean, I know Briar's a hard wood and everything, but I was surprised at how much it did not want to be stamped. This is nice. That apricot appears to be a natural flavor. There's no chemical taste to it. Ooh. I was going to say it's more Virginia than Virginia Perique, but I just retrohaled and got a surprise. There's actually quite a bit of Perique in this. Tim just finished some White Castle. Well, you must be ready for a nap, Tim. Oh, is that how you're going to do it, Phil? So exert the pressure and let it pivot a little bit. That's, yeah, that's a good idea. Yes, Ron, I saw that in what was the movie? The Beast Without a Face. The meerschaum pipe that, yeah, I love that. That's one of the greater of that era. I really enjoy the pipe smoking in that movie because I'm guessing that actor actually was a pipe smoker, and yeah, it's just fun to watch. And Fiend Without a Face, I mean, it's a silly movie in a lot of ways, and the special effects are really goofy, but it's actually not a bad film from a story point of view. Although the ending is quite ridiculous. I won't, in case you haven't seen it, I'm not going to give it away, but what they did wouldn't work. I'll just leave it at that. Apparently, there were no nuclear physicists on the writing staff for Fiend Without a Face. Tim says he likes it spicy, and I assumed that you were referring to the tobacco and not to the White Castle. I've seen that. It looks really strange. The church warden with the stem upside down. Very odd. Oh, Jim, thank you for sending this. This is actually really good. The things that I worry about when it comes to toppings are that they're going to be chemical, and this isn't, and that you're going to get it when when you light, and it's going to be gone after that, and just kind of taste harsh. And this is staying through, and yeah, it's nice. It's not a heavy topping. It's just enough to let you know it's there and to kind of bring out that sweetness of the Virginias. The Virginias are a little tart to my taste, but good. And the Perique is you don't taste it, but boy, it's there on the retro. At least I don't taste it. Yes, Doug, Fiend Without a Face, the flying brains that attack your neck. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And suck your brain out. And spinal cord, by the way. They take both the brain and the spinal cord. Those fiends. Yeah, I think you're right, Phil. It definitely brings out the Virginias, and I'm guessing it is softening the Perique because, like I said, it's not until the retrohale where I really get it. It's a little peppery, but it balances out that tartness nicely. I'm sorry, I'm starting to sound like the back of a wine bottle. Got three bottles and some gin. By the way, if you're a wine drinker, and I'm no connoisseur, but I found I like reds and I like Cab Francs are the ones that I really like, but a Cab Sauv is good. And William Hill, it's a California winery. Cabernet Sauvignon is fantastic and it's cheap. I think I got it for I don't know, it was like $9 a bottle. It was a special, but compared to what you could spend, it's actually really good stuff. They mix it with a little bit of Merlot, which really brings out some of the fruit flavors, and it's got that nice. I'm sorry, I'm starting to sound like the back of a wine bottle again. But if you like red wines, check that one out. I was very impressed with it. Phil, every time they show that movie, and honestly, right now, I've got that song stuck in my head, the Billy Idol Eyes Without a Face song, which I don't know any words to except the Eyes Without a Face line. Uh, so yeah, that that happens every time I see that. Uh, Tim says even flow smoking pipes with Mike today. No, Jim, I think I've got the. Let me see what I've got here. Yep, I've got quite a bit of the Durbar. So thank you, but no need. I like that one, but that does not have any of the topping on it. It's just more of a straight Virginia Perique. I would guess that is apocryphal, Michael. I've heard that too. That the reason they were called church wardens is that they would hang them out the window who smoked during church. I don't know. Because what good would that do? You'd still be exhaling the smoke into the church. So I don't, not much more smoke comes out of your mouth when you smoke a pipe than comes out of the pipe bowl. So I don't know. Phil says he's met a lot of tarts in bars around the world, and very few of them were balanced. Yeah, yeah, Phil, but the ones that aren't tarts aren't balanced either. Oh yeah, that was funny. Uh, that was funny, Ron. It's a great movie. I mean, it's got things to laugh at. It's got the story's not bad. Special effects are goofy, but that kind of makes it fun too. Smooth Piper Peter, the movie that we're talking about is Fiend Without a Face. Flint Hill says his wine cellar has been getting expanded as of late. Mine too, apparently, despite my attempts to buy whiskey. Phil's now singing. It was 90s grunge, says Tim. That was the even flow thing? Jim's asking Dunbar or Durbar, really making me squint or have to put on my reading glasses. I will check. I don't remember. This is Dunbar. D-U-N. There's a lot of jars in there. Okay, so Doug's saying it was person in charge of watching the church, who would be the church warden, that hung his pipe out the window. Doing it wrong says he thought Dunbar was a Virginia Burley. Maybe. It's been a while since I smoked it. I might be wrong about that. I thought it was a vapor, but... yeah, that's always the worry. You don't want to get hit with duties twice in a row there. Dunbar can't speak. Pipe time, says Spoon Man. Is that a Tick reference, pipe time? I agree, Ron. That was a very nice touch, and yeah, she was something special, actually. Now everybody's going to want to see Fiend without a face. Yeah, Doug, Killer Shrews is yeah, it's one of them movies. The other one I like is Frogs. It's kind of in that category. A very similar plot, actually. Where does the time go, Patrick? I can't believe it's already quarter after. Well, a good 5 minutes of it went to me having technical difficulties. Oh, Michael, he's talking about the duty tax going into Canada. Tim, you're always placing your wigs in the chat. Yeah, I see a couple people bringing up Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I'll give you the Blob and the Attack of the I think it was the 50-foot woman. Those definitely are in that category. But Killer Tomatoes was just, I think that was intentionally bad. I'm getting comments on that short video that must have occurred because of my technical difficulties. They keep popping up, so I hope people are able to find their way over here if they wish, at least for the replays. Yes, Brian, they are trying to tax duty. I don't know how it works, Michael. Everett can fill you in. I think you just get a nastygram saying if you want your tobacco, come and pay. Why are folks asking about the 3-hour tour tonight? Do you know what my credit bumper looks like? Did I accidentally show that during the aborted attempt? Yeah, Yornik, that's pretty much universally true, although sadly not universally accepted. Oh, the Blob theme song is fantastic. And man, you want to have something stuck in your head. The Smooth Piper likes frogs. Yeah, it's a good one. It's in that same category of it's not a great film, but it's fun. And it's got a good storyline. All taxes are full of duty, or bull duty. You got it, Brian. Ah, okay, so I messed up the. This has just been a technical disaster. God only knows what you're going to see when I try to end the show. Oh, Gary, I don't think they're trying to send us smoke. And they probably got worse smoke than we do in some places, so. Gary wants to tax Canada for the smoke, but Lurker Troy just goes right for the carotid artery and says, "Let's tax Everett for for Everett." I don't know, Tim. If you paid full price for a 3-hour tour and it lasted 3 years, you might consider that a good thing. More tour for your buck. Uh, it's not in black and white. Boy, it's funny. I can't. I think it was in black and white. Uh, there, Peter. It's funny I can't remember that, but I'm fairly certain it was in black and white. Yes, indeed. If you like coconut cream pie, that's the tour for you doing it wrong. Where's Big Dave? He's going to be disappointed he's missing out on all the Gilligan's Island chat. Tim, I think you just need to make sure that Mr. Hal had some sort of an unfortunate coconut incident, and she'd be yours for 3 hours, for 3 years. There you go. Yes, young Sam Elliott was in Frogs. Yes. And earlier I think Doug mentioned that young Steve McQueen was in The Blob. Yes, I remember The Blob was in black and white with The Blob being in red. But I think Peter was asking about Fiend Without a Face, which I'm fairly certain was black and white. Mission accomplished, Tim. Cheer up, Steve McQueen. Will be running in my head for the rest of the evening. You're right, doing it wrong, and they didn't have to even smoke Captain Black, Prune, and what was it, Prune and X-Lax? And I wish I could remember Doug's hilarious name for it because it's already fallen out of my head, but that was funny. No, Gary, they didn't have toilet paper, so they just used the house money. Apparently, they went on a 3-hour tour with millions of dollars in paper cash. You know, coconut husk sounds kind of harsh doing it wrong, but then you realize that for a long time it was corn cobs. So I personally would guess they make much better pipes, but I think we've reached a new low. We're talking about the toilet habits on Gilligan's Island. This is a yeah. We're we're gonna have to try to do better next week. I blame myself for my inability to actually start the darn show. Is that true, Poem, or are you just making a joke there? Yes, yes, it would be filthy lucre for sure, taciturn Richard. Uh, Big Country Briar, you missed all kinds of stuff. Yeah, doing it wrong, he'll explain it to you. He's got some haunted bookshop and a Phil Rivara. Fantastic. Oh man, Phil, 106. God, that is hot. Well, take care. That's too hot. It's good to see you, Cole. Everett's done with his haunted bookshop. He's moved on to some Granger that he started this afternoon at Blake Mar Briar. Very nice. Yornik, thank you for joining us, buddy. Have a great night. Yes, Gary, the show has gone there, indeed. Is that true, Michael? Gilligan's Island filmed in a Los Angeles park and they had to pave it, put up a parking lot. Ooh la la la. Ah, okay, Poem. Thank you, because that's the sort of thing that I would remember and tell somebody. So it's a funny joke, but I just wanted to make sure it wasn't true. You helped quite a bit, Gary. Quite a bit. Yes, Smarty Bob. A few lurkers. It is kind of sad, isn't it, doing it wrong? It was a big part of my childhood too, and now people are parking on it. The minnow is actually afloat and gives tours? Well, heck, I think we need to charter that. We won't have the Howes with all their money, but we'll have Everett with his suitcases full of haunted bookshop. The grape smell is going away, says Tim. I guess Everett switched back to old Joe Krantz. Thanks, Phil. I'll look forward to that. Right, pipe time. It would be suitcases full for 3 hours. Yes. Ron Hardcracker is smoking H&H Vermont meat candy and a blasted Amphora extra billiard. Wow. Oh, Tim, that song is worse than Sleepy Jean. P.A. Piper, how's it going? I don't think we can get Dawn Wells to come along, Michael. She's sadly passed. But still looked fantastic. Doing fine, P.A. Piper. Doing fine. I think Ginger is still alive. She might be the only, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think she's still alive. She might be the only cast member that's still going. Got a little bit of gin and tonic left. And I have to, there we go. I should be able to actually end the show at some point. Thank you, Phil. I look forward to watching that. Jim Finn, thanks for joining us, buddy, and thanks again for the Esoterica blend. It was wonderful. You have a great weekend. Happy 4th. Oh, Big Country Briar, you're going to have to talk to Tim Fournier. I think you two are going to be fighting over Mrs. Howe. Ginger now goes by Linda Moulton Howe? Really? Oh, Ginger died in 2020, says Smarty Bob. Oh, that's sad. Barbara Eden or Elizabeth Montgomery, asked Tim Fournier. Now, Patrick Grant says Tina Louise is still alive, who would be Ginger. So, I don't know, we got a discrepancy here. You know, I know Barbara Eden is the choice that's going to be popular, but I don't know. Elizabeth Montgomery was something. I have to Google that name, Phil. Now I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Well, my pipe is done. And I will continue to smoke the, already forgotten the name of it, the Dorchester this week, and we'll see how that goes. I'll probably have a bowl of this on Sunday, and that's one less little bag I've got to worry about, and we'll pick another one next week. So, Tim's a fool for Elizabeth too. Yeah, me too. Me too. So we got a little bit of liquid left here. And I can't just chug it because there's still ice in it. So. Oh, so Gary, you don't want Barb Reed and you want Jeannie. Ah, Smarty Bob had the wrong ginger. I'm not going to ask. Oh, without a doubt. I mean, if we're talking about in their prime, Doug, yes, Diana Rigg, without question. Belly button so spectacular they had to hide it. Oh, now Smooth Piper's saying Ginger did pass away. Oh no. Stratman pops up to bring up the Golden Girls. Of course. It wouldn't be a Friday night if we didn't get them worked in somehow. Oh, P.A. Piper saying Tina Louise is still alive. You know what? We're just going to have to all Google it after the show. Well, folks, I am just about dry here. So we're going to bring this to a close. I want to thank you all for joining me, especially for putting up with the technical difficulties there. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Now Gary's saying his screen is frozen. I don't know. I'm still moving here, but sorry. Anyway, we're going to call this to a close. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Happy 4th of July to all the folks in the U.S. Happy Canada Day for all you smoky Canadians up there. And yeah, have a great weekend. I'll do something on Sunday as I usually do, and we will be back next week with a another exciting episode of whatever the heck this is. So thank you all. Take care. And be good.